Hey, Scholar, president of militaryfairs.com, your one-stop shop for travel. If you're a member of the military, if you're a veteran like I am, or a family member of a military person, militaryfairs.com. You know, I always say the number one question I'm asked, and there's a lot of number one questions I'm asked, but I will have to say, in all honesty, the number one question I'm asked is, Scott, what's your favorite cruise line? And that's a very hard question to answer because it depends. It depends on what? Depends on if my brother-in-law and I are just gonna go, then I'd go on Virgin Voyages. No kids, no tipping, no gratuities. Now, if I'm just taking my wife, I would take a cruise on Holland America Line. 5-star food, 5-star entertainment, an older demographic, and it's just amazing. I mean, my wife and I have over 150 days sailing on Holland America Line. Now, what if we're taking the grandkids? I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old and a little 6-month-old, but for the 6 and 4-year-old, it's a toss-up because we're about to go on the MSC Seashore on August 1st. Now, my grandkids have not been on MSC yet. They've been on Carnival. We were on the Carnival Liberty last year, and the kids had a great time. And I want to thank Carnival because they really made it very, very special. My grandson Reed, the cruise kid, was able to take a tour of the bridge, a tour of the galley, dozens of cookies every day in the cabin. They really made him feel special. So thank you to Carnival. Thank you to the Carnival PR department for making my grandson Reed's first cruise memorable. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Arison. So the other thing is, going back to Virgin Voyages, no tipping, no gratuities. So that's, couples. Like I said, I took my brother-in-law last year. We had a great time. Royal Caribbean. My wife and I sailed on the Icon of the Seas last year, and thanks to the Royal Caribbean PR department for letting us go on there. Hoping for Utopia of the Seas, hint, hint. But we were able to go on Icon, had a great 3-day media/travel advisor cruise, and it was just amazing. Just an amazing cruise ship, the largest cruise ship in the world to date. So much to do for everybody, for solos, for couples, for honeymooners, for families, you name it. I mean, there was so much on Icon. I could do a whole video on Icon of the Seas. So Royal Caribbean is good. Now, Norwegian Cruise Line, I rarely talk about NCL because the only time I was on NCL, I was on NCL 3 times actually. I was on NCL in Hawaii. We took an 11-day cruise around the different islands, Maui and a couple other islands. And it was okay, And then, of course, I was on the Blake Shelton cruise, and I was on the Groove cruise. And thank you to Jason Bukima, founder of the Groove cruise. Love you, Jason. Jason's just one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And I always get choked up talking about him because he truly changed my life. Jason Bukima of the Groove cruise. But, you're saying, Scott, what's so special about the Groove cruise? Well, it's EDM. It's electronic dance music. And I was sitting on the Lido deck eating something, and a guy comes over. May I sit next down to you? Yes. Yeah, come on over. Hi, my name is Raul. Nice to meet you. Where are you from? I'm from somewhere. And then there's this other guy. May I sit here? Yes, you may. Who are you? I am Nadal from Paris. I said, hey, Nadal, nice to meet you. And I looked at these guys. I go, what do y'all? We are here for the music. We are here for the music. And so Jason Bukima was able to bring people from all over the world to a cruise ship. I think they're on the 20th year now. And Jason has a foundation too. A WHET, W-H-E-T foundation, helping people in the different ports. So anyway, NCL, okay. Now, Celebrity. Now, I sailed on Celebrity Solstice with my good friend Doug Parker of Cruise Radio years ago. Love Celebrity. Again, that's more my demographic, 50 plus, fewer kids. So that's a great demographic there. So what's my favorite cruise line? It depends. If I'm going with my wife Marty, Holland America Line. If I'm going with my brother-in-law Tim, Virgin Voyages. If I was going with Marty, you know, and maybe not Holland America, I'd go on Celebrity. If I was going with the grandkids, my daughter and son-in-law, I'd have to say Royal Caribbean. I'd have to go on Icon, even though Icon is a little more expensive because it's new. I mean, definitely. But we'll see how MSC is. I mean, and let me just be real transparent. Last year I went on MSC Seashore. And if you've done any research on MSC, the reviews have not been that great. And I talked to my daughter Brittany, and Brittany said, "Hey Dad." I said, "Hey, what?" She goes, "Go with an open mind." And I did, and I really had a good time. I had a balcony, and it was good. You know, you got to know a couple tricks, and which I'm not going to tell you the tricks right now until I come back from my August 1st. I'll tell you. Why not? Might as well just let you know. I've already told you my secret about Carnival Cruise Line and Half Moon Cay. What's that? Okay, let me tell you that, then I'll go back to MSC. And I actually learned this from my best friend, Rocky. Get off the ship early. What does that mean? We were on the Royal Caribbean Monarch of the Seas, I think. And we pulled into a port, and Rocky said, "Hey, let's be on the first tender, or let's get off the ship first. Find a nice spot, cool of the day." And that's exactly what we did. And we found a place to sit, had something, you know, to drink, talk. And then, of course, when everybody else is coming over there, 11:30, quarter to 12, it starts getting hot out. That's when to go back to the ship. So that's what I've said. If you type in Scott Lara, Lara, Half Moon Cay, you will see all my videos on Half Moon Cay, and I talk about people who were on vacation, slow cup of coffee, pondered the day, 3 hours on Facebook, scrolling, oh. Well, if you do that on a cruise, by the time you get to, you know, the beach club at Bimini or the Half Moon Cay or Coco Cay or wherever you want to go, most of the beach chairs will be gone. And guys, your wife will be upset. Tom, yes, Caitlin, yes, princess, yes, queen. What can I do for you, princess? There aren't any good chairs. Nama, nama, numa, no. Well, Caitlin, I told you, you know, we need to get out of the, you know, just get up. We'll hit the gym, we'll have breakfast, and let's be one of the first ones over there to get a prime chair, right there where you want it to be. No, it's our vacation. Let's go slow. Let's take our time. Fine. Let me tell you what I told my brother-in-law on Virgin Voyages. And Tim, I hope you're not watching. I told my brother, because, see, I've been to Bimini via the Carnival Liberty. And went there with my daughter, son-in-law, my wife, and my 2 grandsons. And I told them, I said, we got to get there early to get the best chairs. And they listened to me. We all got off relatively early, and we got good chairs on the beach. So I knew that, right? So when I went on the Virgin Voyages cruise with my brother-in-law, and let me just tell you about my Virgin Voyages cruise on Scarlet Lady. It was good, but I was upset because there was bad weather. We hit like 30-mile-an-hour winds. We hit like 15-foot seas. And I'm looking to go back on Virgin Voyages again very soon because I really want to have a better experience. And it was not the fault of the captain. It was the universe. That's the fault. And it was like in November. It was near the tail end of hurricane season. But anyway, I told my brother-in-law, I said, "Hey, Tim, let's get up early, have breakfast, and go over there." Oh, you know, he stayed out late. He was tired. See ya. Well, I ran over there. I was like one of the first people off the ship. I was on the cart that takes you over to the club. Got myself a perfect chair, and then I started watching, seeing all these other people. You know, like half an hour later, an hour later, 2 hours later. And man, the wives were like jabbing the guys. Where's all the chairs? And the guys are rolling their eyes like, oh my gosh, oh, she's complaining. And, you know, if you would have gotten there early, you would have gotten a good chair. So that's one of my tips. Now let's go back to MSC Seashore. Here's my tip, and I really hate telling you this, but I'm a nice guy. I'm Scott Lehrer, the cruise genius, president of military-affairs.com. Most people gravitate to the midship, the middle of the ship, midship buffet on deck 16. They take that midship elevator and everybody is gathered around that midship buffet area. It's very crowded. My super secret tip is this. Even if you're in a forward cabin, get some steps in, walk to the far aft elevators, and take the far aft back of the ship, elevators, little Navy lingo there. Take those aft elevators up to deck 16 for the marketplace, and the buffet area there pretty much has the same food as they have in the middle, far less crowded. Night and day less crowded. You know why? Because most people gravitate to the midship. They think that's where the real stuff is, midship. Well, look at my YouTube video on, just type in Scott Lehrer MSC Seashore. You'll see my video on it about going to the back, the aft buffet. Those are my thoughts. And so if you have any questions about cruising, Scott at militaryfairs.com. For airfare, hotels, packages, go to militaryfairs.com. If you're active duty, if you're a veteran, or a family member of a military person, militaryfairs.com. Thanks so much. Like and subscribe. I hope you have a great day. Scott Lehrer, president of militaryfairs.com.